Lord Rudy. What's going on? What is the horns already? It's a little early for the horns.
Hey, it's never too early to rock, right?
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you? Glad to actually see you back.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I heard that they brought me in just to locate you. That you're missing in action.
Yeah, because of all your psychic powers, right?
Truly.
Rudy, at what point in your life did you know that you weren't like the other kids?
Oh.
Early on?
Early on.
Early on. And at what point did you start feeling psychic?
True story. So, when I was 4, my first spirit guide actually visited me in the form of a black wolf and told me his name was Bunny. And, we would meet in the
Buddy or Bunny?
Bunny.
The black wolf's name was Bunny.
Bunny,
yeah.
right, so go figure.
Right.
So anyways, he would tell me things that would come to pass, like my parents, were going to get divorced, and my mom would ask, I would tell him, I'd be crying, I don't want you guys to, get divorced. She said, who told you that word? And I would tell her, so.
Bunny told me.
Bunny told me. So I told her all about Bunny, but,
did they
so that
believe
was my first
you?
guide. Huh?
Did they believe you?
Well, they already knew they were headed that way for, divorce, but...
No. Did they believe you that you saw the Bunny, the black wolf, and that he was talking to you? Bunny's a he, right?
It's a spirit, yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right, so you tell your mom, the wolf told me you guys are getting divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And she says...
Who taught you that word?
Right. And you said Bunny.
Right.
And she says...
Tell me more about Bunny.
Uh-huh.
So... That's when.
Do you talk to Bunny to this day?
Actually, yeah. So
how often?
It's always in the dream world, except now it's like when I was younger, it was actually very kind of cartoonish. He would actually walk on hind legs and sit at the table, and his mouth would actually move. But now it's mostly more like so more. It's on a telepathy level. It's more like eye contact.
So he would come to you and sit at the table with you when you're having your morning.
Yeah, I would dream.
Right.
So I would dream. And we would always meet in this one room, and it was like, a little kid's table, teapot.
Sure.
And
okay. So you guys would sit there and you'd talk about things. And so when did you start being able to tell the future yourself?
That, besides dream, I actually really got in tune with it when I was 12. That's when
It's kind of early.
Well,
I think. Is 12 early to be a psychic?
I just tell people it's followed me in lifetimes. It's something that I do. So
at 12 years old, what do you start doing? The cards? The readings?
Oh, no. The cards didn't come until I was 18, 19. But when I was 12, I actually really started getting into things of astrology. Just really, in touch with a lot of.
What's your sign, Rudy?
I'm actually a Taurus.
You're a Taurus.
Uh-huh.
Does that really mean you're stubborn?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does, right? Now, let's just move on ahead to now. What are some of the things that you do now?
Well, so I run my healing studio and psychic studio out of my home. I see clients. I also work for a well-known psychic network. Teach classes.
Like a psychic network, like they call the 1-800 Lord Rudy?
Yeah.
And they talk to you on the phone?
Right.
And what are some of the things people talk to you about?
Basically, they don't really say anything. I tell them everything that's going on, so it's pretty much, no questions.
So your phone rings, and you just start talking.
I get their name, their date of birth. Usually I start with numerology. I'll ask them to, that's usually how my spirit guides, how the door opens up. I'll ask them to pick a number between 1 and 10. And then from there, it's just, I just go into everything that's going on. So
now, when a person comes to you for a reading, that's what it's called, right?
Right.
What do you do? What's the process?
What's the process? Well, I guess we can take it from the service. It's about the service I provide. So, truly, when a person comes for a reading, 50% it's usually that they have serious issues that they need help with, and then the other 50 is sometimes it's just for entertainment value. But then it gets to like core issues. And my whole thing is like my service to humanity, like helping people to first learn that when we come into this world, that we're already divine or we're already complete, that we forget that our outer world is always a reflection of our inner world. However, things that society teaches us, things that, conditionings of our, perhaps parents, different things, create blockages or may take us off our path. So I truly just help people as a guide, because it's all about everyone having their free will. At the end of the day, I always tell people you have to follow your heart and your mind. But I'm only a guide.
Can you turn it on and off? I mean, like when we're just talking, you're not sitting there reading me.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just...
We're just talking. You're not trying to
right.
read. But do you find yourself sometimes just in normal conversation, things coming out of people and you're just reading them?
Absolutely. One thing I have to share with everyone that in this incarnate lifetime, actually in a lot of lifetimes, I've been blessed with other guides or teachers that have helped me to learn how to, for example, sometimes I'm very empathic. Like if I'm in a room of crowded people, I will not freak out, but I will start to get these overwhelming feelings
overload,
like fear or something, and I have to tell myself, you know what, I left the door open, psychically. So I'm usually picking up on something that's going on with someone in the room. So I've been groomed to, like I said, I've been blessed with teachers that have helped me to use myself as a vessel just to channel these energies, not to use any of my own energies, and also to, I have to tell you to a certain degree, when I am closed or when, I'm not tuned in psychically, then my spirit guides take over as far as guiding me or looking out after me and things like that.
Can you see ghosts?
Most of my guides, things that I deal with, I have to tell you, believe it or not, I don't really communicate with the dead. I can feel the presence of ghosts if I'm in a house. I usually see, because I do see clairvoyantly, I usually see mist, in the corners somewhere, I'll see a little fog mist.
In a corner? Why in a corner?
Well, usually depending on their vibration, because they're out of body sometimes, or it may not even be a ghost, it could be a certain entity. That
I've seen a ghost in a corner before. That's why I asked.
So, usually ghosts, when it's usually almost like a glitch, it's something that repeats itself. It's what's called, usually something very traumatic has happened in that house or in that area. Mm-hmm. It's what's called residual energetic energy. So it's like an imprint. So that ghost will usually always be in that same area where something happened.
Can you go find one?
Why would I want to?
Well, because I think I know where one's at. I think I know where one hangs out. I think we could go find her.
Well, of course, but first of all, my question is, for what purpose? Usually...
Because she scared me. I want to...
Okay, so usually I do work. Let's go in that direction. So I do cleanse houses, of energies, whether they be out of, people that have been in a body and need help crossing over, or sometimes it can be, I don't really like putting labels, but other energies that have never had a physical body, whether you want to call it,
What the hell do you mean by that?
Well, whether you call it demonic or something of that nature.
It's just only a spirit.
Right.
Okay. So if people want to get a hold of you, Rudy, how do they do that?
So they can make an appointment by email, rudyblackwolf@gmail.com, or they can text. I love doing the text and things. So area code 559-930-7597. And on the network, it's for asknow.com. It's toll free. It's 888-781-4441. And on the network, I actually go by Psychic Lucian.
Lucian.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The Angel of Light.
Lord Rudy, always good to see you, buddy. You'll be back in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, so doing astrology every 2 weeks.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Lord Rudy, thank you for coming by. But we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stick around. We have more giveaways for you and live music.